Wanted to check out a structure we saw in this area. Just outside of Bailey, Colorado, and we're in Bailey, Colorado because there are so many Bigfoot sighting reports that happen around this alpine town. I mean, Colorado is one of the biggest concentrations of Bigfoot sightings in the Rocky Mountains, and Bailey has a few dozen of their own. You know, a backpacker or a hiker wanting to stay the night out here may have very well made this. But some people associate some of the structures in the woods to Bigfoot, so we like to study the structures until science or the rest of us figure out exactly what Bigfoot does. But maybe there's a possibility they use these as blinds or shelter. Yeah, it used to be a big time structure and now it's been dismantled. Sometimes a male will come into another male's territory and destroy their territorial markers, showing that they're ready to come in and try and take over their territory.
And then this looks like a little green trail. Yeah, here we go. Right here. Look, Kelly. See that?
Where they weave them together?
That's doesn't just lay like that. And then there might be something more right here. You see this? And then right here, look at this. Right here.
Oh yeah.
That just doesn't happen like that.
Oh, all those have been carried in and placed like that.
That's only when I see cut. The other ones look like they're broken and just kind of gathered. But yeah. So what's the purpose of something like that?
That'd keep a little bit of rain and snow off you if you're laying under that.
But look at, oh no, that's nothing.
I'm gonna get to the side of this.
Yeah, I picked it up underneath.
And look how that one is. I mean, yeah, if you see just a little cluster like this, you'll think, what is this? A blind or what is it?
Look, they laid them up in the back too.
But then why would they do that?
Might be some younger ones just in here playing.
You can see the trees are starting to bow, like they've been, you know, hung onto, as, you know, which I normally see that. And like just right here, I mean, you'll.
Yep.
For those of you that haven't seen him for a while, this is Brody Lewis. He lives in this general area of Colorado now, and so he's showing us some of the Bigfoot sighting hot spots in the area.
But check that out, how those ones are laid up like that.
Oh yeah.
And then there's another one that's crisscrossing it like that. Those big trees right here. And then the other ones back here just kind of woven into it.
Hold them up. And then this one.
And then you just see this right here, right? This one's bowed over. And those ones are just kind of laying up against it.
Well, look at this one. It's been bent all the way over and tucked under that log over there. This one, that's the arch.
That starts from our side and arches over and is wedged under those logs over there. Yeah. We're near Bailey, Colorado. There's a cluster of Bigfoot sightings in this area, and Birdie's identified the string of them. So we come up to follow the string of sightings. There's like 7 of them just in this area alone.
Snap off. Right, look at this. Just this tiniest little snap off.
Yeah, Bigfoot does have a habit of snapping everything as it passes by. From small all the way up to 3-inch saplings. And if it really wants to show its power, it'll snap bigger than 3-inch saplings. I've heard of up to 5-inch saplings being snapped by them. Alright, Brody found a trackway, and this trackway is in a good vantage point to watch a game trail that's going to a water source. This is only an 11-inch long set of tracks in a trackway, so you can't rule out a person, but you can only film what you find, and currently that's what we found. And Brody has found that they parallel this animal trail.
This print could be even bigger. It's just hard to get definition with this pine needles. So this print could very well be
Way bigger.
bigger. It's just hard to tell.
Yeah, and just like Bigfoot, they like to take pathways that they're not leaving tracks. The older ones, the older they get, the smarter they are about going in places where they don't leave tracks. And Brody pointed out that this well-blazed game trail down here that goes to a creek, this is a great vantage point for an ambush.
There's
And you see, you're not at the top of the ridge, so you're not skylining your profile.
yeah.
But you're just kind of at the,
See,
you know, this crest of that hill. You're not skylining your profile. You're just kind of watching that game.
Because you're
trail.
staying above the summit of the hill.
Yeah, because it would outline your figure. You'd be much more noticeable.
there is oil all over right here.
Like something keeps on grabbing it.
Right here. All right here.
Yeah, as if maybe they're just
Stand.
say, look what else they're doing. Look. Well, I mean, I'm not saying they're doing this, but look at this. Look.
All
See,
of
this
them.
is just hanging there.
All of them are.
So if you were just sitting here waiting,
And watching, and you have a snapping
habit.
habit.
I mean, or something is standing here waiting, right? Whatever it might be.
Here's another big. Here's another big impression. It snapped all of the wood that's in here. Right here is the hill. Here's the toes. Dug in here. You can see where the toes have went. Dug down deep. And then Brody found what's going up right here. There's the other one.
We're tracking it to up this hill. There's the next one. Walking using its toes, how you would expect something with a primate style footprint to climb uphill.
Kind of interested what's over here. Probably correct. Well, that's kind of odd.
Brody pointed out, we come up here and there's a campfire ring that's made right here. Okay, and there's some sticks right here. Looks like, you know, ready for your fire. But look, there has never ever been even a second of flame there. You know, did somebody build this up here and decide not to make a fire, or is Bigfoot mimicking people's fire rings and just can't figure out how to get the fire going?
one.
You point out the hill and the toes
Well, the heel disappears
into the
back
long
here,
grass.
but here's the front of the foot up here. It's big.
Can you tell where the heel might end in the grass so we can get the
No,
measurement?
because it was walking on the front of its foot and not its heel.
We can get a width.
Because it was walking uphill. It is almost 8 inches wide.
Up at the toes.
Yep, it's only using, like, this is where it'd be in mid-tarsal.
It's using the front of the mid-tarsal.
Yeah, as it's going up the hill. It's big.
Just like we've said in the past, sometimes the juveniles make mistakes and lead you to the adults. We found some 11-inch footprints that were 11-inch long, and then they led us to one that's just gigantic that has an 8-inch wide footprint. And so we're now on the trail of a giant, and I think Brody has found another footprint up here. Oh, that's a big one. Yeah.
I don't know if it'll show up well on camera, but
I see it through this little viewfinder. Let's put the
Holy cow.
tape on it.
That's really good.
That juvenile led us to an adult.
Right there.
18.
Holy, it's big.
How wide is it?
Look, you can see its toes.
Yeah, point out the toes and everything.
The toes are all right here. There's the big toe.
8 inches.
8.
Yeah,
just like that one back
last
there.
one. We found one that just left the mid-tarsal and front right there. But this is the whole thing. Wait, leave the tape out. Let's leave it on there. I'm going to take a couple of photos of this.
Okay. That's big.
Jenny, point out the heel and the edges of the foot for everybody.
Here's the edge of the heel right here. And then here's the toes splayed right here.
We're right in the middle of 7 Bigfoot sighting reports. There's a string of 7 of them right here in Bailey, in this area that we're at right now. And so we have found signs of 2 possible Bigfoots. One that's leaving an 11-inch long footprint, and this one with the 18-inch long, 8 inches wide. Man, look at the size of that track.
I know.
It's just amazing.
It's going back up this little gully.
You know, this footprint's probably only a day or 2 old.
Yeah.
So they might still be in the area.
Is that? It looks like this one.
Yeah, it does.
Strange. Mm-hmm. And then that just shoved in the ground.
Yeah, are you filming or taking pictures?
Filming.
Brody just found another footprint, but for some reason, it has stuck a stick right in there, which is weird.
Huh.
Okay. Figure over here, so he started to follow it. Then up on the ridge behind us, we heard a vocalization, a loud roar. So Brody started following the shape that he saw over here, just in case it was a diversion.
You heard a branch getting smacked against a tree? I heard that one. I had heard a wood knocking. Then Jenny's like, "Did you hear that?" And I'm thinking, "Yeah, what did you hear?" She said, "I heard a wood knocking," then it did it again. That direction. a couple of screams and whoops since we've been up here, and then the 2 wood knocks.
What I've been hearing is just whistling and different kind of vocal noises from this area. So it's got me kind of interested.
It's not being sneaky about it.
No, and it seems kind of off in the distance each time, a little bit further. So
Well, I've heard it a couple of times pretty loud, especially the wood knocks. We were really interested in this Bailey, Colorado area because such a large grouping of Bigfoot sightings in here. There's several areas in Colorado. I mean, it's just a mecca for Bigfoot sightings. So we met up with Brody. He's one of our core RMSO team members from the beginning, and he lives out here in Colorado now. So now we have some eyes and ears and a Bigfooter in Colorado. And it's kind of funny, without even really talking about it, Brody and I have both doing our studies and sighting reports. You know, I brought up Bailey and he's like, I was already planning on taking you guys there, you know. So we've really done our research ahead of time to get us in a place where hopefully we have some luck at finding some Bigfoot activity. And today we found some suspect footprints. We have found suspect structures and snap-offs, and we've heard some vocalizations and wood knocks. And it's been about 2 months since I've heard vocalizations or wood knocks in a Bigfoot sighting area. You know, you go into these areas and with high hopes, but after a while you expect not to find nothing because it's not very often. But we've had a pretty good day today with the suspect footprints and these vocalizations. So we're going to trek back in here a little while further. We want to find a water source and look around that today in this area.
There's a whole bunch of flat impressions all over the ground here, and we keep getting whistles and hoots off this way, but we're following the tracks because we're thinking maybe we're trying to get distracted away from where all of these footprints are. So we're just going to follow the footprints and not the hooting.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, there's a lot of scat, deer, elk.
and it looks like evidence of maybe bear or something digging through here, digging and putting that bark up like that.
Well, we're following Bigfoot tracks, or Bigfoot shaped impressions. Maybe Bigfoot tears into the bark of dead and dying trees for the same reason as bears do.
It looks like something with the finger dug in the deed.
Fingers instead of claws?
Fingers instead of claws. See? And it's sharp. Whatever dug in here, they've just been picking at it. Like right in here. That's not, that's just...
That's carefully picking into it. It's
Yes.
not going at it with a claw and ripping it open.
It is. I mean, it's sharp, whatever it is, but it's getting down in there.
Bigfoot has some big old fingernails that some have seen them skinning rabbits, or at least cutting the rabbits open to skin them with their fingernails. I haven't personally seen it, but I've read sighting reports where people have claimed.
Well, I've never seen holes like this. Not in any of our spots.
Not dug like that.
No, that's interesting. I like that a lot. This is hardwood.
But that's rotted in interior.
Inside, yes. But to get in there.
Well, the most rotted parts are going to have the grubs.
Yeah. Well, if it was a bear, there would have been so much more destruction.
Right, the bears just rip them open.
Did you hear that?
heard whistling.
Yeah, it's just right there.
Just heard a thump.
It was around here.
Something making contact with the ground that was big and heavy.
It must have just leapt and jumped and
It's like something's following us. It was like behind us.
it was a big boom.
Yeah, I couldn't. There's no way I could make a thump that loud.
No.
And I weigh 200 pounds. Yep, that was a good concussion with the ground.
Yeah, you could more feel it than hear it.
Whatever was ahead of us is now behind us.
Or, like they said, it doesn't want us going over here for some reason.
Well, we are getting closer to the water, so... And I see some bowed trees, so that's a good sign. On a game trail. That's too unorganized for people to do that. And those are broken. And here's the water source.
This is the water source. And there are all these sightings we wanted to check out. We're just going on a hunch that Bigfoot has to drink water too. So when we get into a Bigfoot sighting hotspot, one of the things on our list to check out are reliable water sources.
Just that, you can see that it was definitely pushed. There's more than one tree that was being pushed that way.
The Zek structure. A lot of people think these mean different things, like this is mine, don't go there. I don't know what it means, but in the human world it means don't use this lane or don't go that way. Maybe its favorite spot to come get a drink. Something's been laying right here.
Well, there's a...
We can smell urine. A lot of animals like bear, elk, moose will pee on the ground and roll in it. The males anyway. I think Bigfoot might do the same thing when they say that they...
Oh no.
How stinky the Bigfoot is. I think, you know, a Bigfoot wallower, it'll pee on the ground and roll in it. That's Bigfoot Old Spice. That attracts the ladies.
That tree was pushed over. No, that one.
This is just, this was placed back up on here.
Yeah, that's weird.
And then we got a snap off right there, if you look that way.
Well, that's where that tree was pushed down there.
And then this is odd. And then right behind us, there is a structure.
Yeah, we're gonna go and film the structure for y'all. It's only about 50 yards from this.
Yeah. I've heard a good story about, you know how those are made?
Yes.
You tie a little sapling in a knot and it grows like that.
Yes. When a long time ago, when was it the Spaniards?
I believe so.
That's how long ago it was. We're coming through here. They would tie a sapling in a knot to make trees like that.
That would grow like that.
That would
So
grow
that
like
there was
that.
markers.
You know, with the Bigfoot's snapping tendency, if they don't snap it and they just bend it or roll it over, maybe it'll come back like that. Look at the one next to it
That was right in the tree.
that's curving around the tree.
That is actually a knot when they do that. They tie it in a knot.
That one is
And that's how that grows.
yeah, that's a knot. That's a perfect.
All right, let's go look at the structures, people. Here's the structure we told you that we were gonna film, right close to all those snap-offs and other weird things. Try and get a good angle on it for y'all. There's something different about the areas, or something similar about the areas you find structures in?
They're always in like on the side of a draw, on the side of where a game trail is going down to probably the water source in this case. But
You
there's
know,
always
this place reminds me a lot of Yellowstone Canyon.
Me too.
Rock structures
It's the similar elevation too.
and the trees.
It's all above 9,000 feet. We've been hiking at 9,000 to 10,000 feet today.
but it's not.
It's been relocated.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brody just
And there's kind of a big
lifted it up. Something brought that in there and sat it up right next to this other tree that has two.
But I'm not gonna be able to pick it up. But it appears to be the same. So does this.
That grow there, Brody?
No, this didn't grow here at all. It's just
Oh, it lifts right up.
yeah.
Okay, I want to show you this snap off where something snapped a sapling off. Check this out. Is that one of the dills in our structure? Is that the base of like that one right there? Did something rip that off and then make a structure? I have a feeling that these structures are communications to each other, and they might be communications to us. They may think, oh, everybody knows what that means.
And I would assume that it comes through this area and just kind of snaps random branches as it just walks through, right? Because this just kind of pushed down but twisted to the side, you know? Which,
You know, you come into an area and you find a couple of snap-offs, it's like, whatever, yay. But we come into this area and not only do we find snap-offs, we're finding different types of structures, and we've found 11-inch long and 18-inch long footprints. The 18-inch at the widest part up by the toes was 8 inches wide. So, and then we know this is a Bigfoot sighting hotspot. We've heard some vocalizations today, some wood knocks. So what's going on?
well, here's the thing is, I mean, we got snap off, snap off, snap off. I mean, I can go 20 feet in any direction and, you know, not see that. But along this pathway, you can definitely see that this has been broke, that's been broke, that's been broke. So why is everything just kind of snapped off along this way?
I think they do it to keep their bearing.
But look,
I really do.
Everything is snapped off. Snapped off.
It's an area that they frequent a
It's
lot,
snapped off.
and they find the best ways in and out,
Snapped
and they
off.
do the snap-offs. It's like their personal trail markers.
But they're definitely not low to the ground, right?
Oh,
So I have to reach up, you know, so something that's taller that's able to snap them off.
I just heard a loud snap to our left, and Brody's heading the direction. I think he may have heard it too. Loud snapping sound like something stepped on a fairly large stick.
All the noises I've been hearing, vocals, snaps, everything has been kind of staying on top and just kind of keep an eye on us, I believe. Because you just heard a snap right here.
Well, the wind's on the top. It's a lot cooler up here. And then you got a vantage point of everything. Everything's got to climb to you. The thump that we heard earlier, that the percussion on the ground was up on top.
That scream.
I was talking, so I think that's why I missed it. Brody just heard a scream. It's probably alerting the clan that we're climbing back to the top.
Yeah, it's
This one right here is relocated.
yeah, they all go up.
Look at that, you guys.
Area.
That didn't grow there.
No.
See, there's the impression of where it had been sitting. So this little structure right here, something brought in all these little saplings. Well, some of these saplings are 15, 20 feet long.
There's more.
Where's this tree coming from?
They're not even growing here. You see all this right here? This has all been drugged up here. See, that one's, these didn't grow here. Every single one of these have been brought here. Look at this one. See this? That's been set there. Everything right here has been getting carried up here and put here. All of this.
Isn't it weird? We hear knocks, we hear vocalizations, we hear something thumping percussion on the ground, and it's a Bigfoot sighting area, and we find structures. I mean,
yeah, see? These have been ripped right out of the ground and brought up here. Pins are down in that, well, there's some up here, I guess. But all of these did not grow here. None of these did. That's just weird. And you can see it a long way away. There's so many of them together.
the coincidences are starting to add up here in Bailey, Colorado. Footprints, vocalizations, wood knocks. And then we're finding structure areas.
There's a structure over there too. When we're coming up the hill, there's one straight across from here.
Yep, we filmed that one down below us.
No, this is another one.
Oh, another
On
one?
top, straight up here. Uh-huh.
Is that fish over?
Here? No, I don't think so.
Bigfoot are known as ridge walkers, and Brody's famous for taking us to the tops of the mountains to look for Bigfoot. And it's amazing how we find more abundance of structures on these mountain tops. Check this out. It didn't break it, but something grabbed it and twisted the enough that the bark come off. Could have been a hiker or something else that has the ability to grab and twist. Did you see something?
Shape right there.
Yeah. Let me zoom in on it.
We can't see what it is from here.
It looks a lot like a tree.
Walk towards it, and you see if it moves. What was that?
There's another relocated log that ended up in a structure position on the top of this mountain.
We've made it to the peak.
Yes, we're on the peak of this particular mountain.
We did! It's good job.
Did your GPS tell you the elevation? Brody's looking up our elevation. We're on the mountaintop.
On the tippy peak.
We made it to the peak.
$9,728.
We're just about 10,000 feet elevation on this little mountain peak. Yeah, Bailey's in the little town of Bailey's in the valley, clear over that way, about 15 miles.
We climbed 1,000 feet today. Wow.
I beg to differ. We've climbed it twice. We climbed over this mountain, went down to that creek, and then back up. So this is the second time we've climbed this mountain today. We don't do this very often, but we're towards the end of our hike. This is the second time we've climbed this mountain. Now we're going to climb down to the dirt road where we parked the car. And so we're going to do a leaving good wood knock, basically to tell the Bigfoot goodbye, hello, whatever it means. So Brody's going to do a wood knock.
Nothing.
Sometimes they'll do a wood knock and then do one 20 minutes later. Maybe they'll respond in 10, 20 minutes. Yeah. Here's an X-style like structure. And then there's a second one right behind it. It's another structure, X-shaped right there. There's two of them.
That one's conveniently placed. I don't know how you could do that any better. See that?
That one broke.
I know, look, but it's how it's wedged in there. So it didn't fall there because it would have to get wedged in there underneath that branch.
Yeah, the top branch would have stopped it if it fell. So it was placed.
You can look right straight down through here.
And see all the snap-offs that line up.
Just bolt right through here and snap everything off.
It's like an animal run through
Maybe a moose?
in a straight line, snapping stuff off. Did you hear that howl? Maybe the camera picked it up.
No, it's too, if a moose went through here, it would be, the snap-offs would be higher.
Well, it's going to break at the weakest point of the tree, so if their antlers grab a hold up high.
Okay.
But one thing we know in the Bigfoot world is Bigfoot has a habit of snapping where it travels, so
It doesn't matter which way they go, they'll snap it. And just like you, right?
Yep.
there's 2-3 mile trackways of Bigfoot footprints, and at every opportunity it's snapping saplings and sticks. And
They're not that small either.
these are saplings that have been snapped. This may be a pathway that it uses often.
No. Obviously.
Huh. There's another one here.
Is that in the way too?
I don't know, did it shove that over?
Let's pull out the rocks up in there.
Wow. Look at that. It's ripped.
That's 9 or 10 feet up.
Look at that. It's ripped and twisted that.
It's twisted. Well, that's odd.
I did the same thing with this one.
Now that's definitely twisted.
Yeah, and then it just threw it on the ground.
It's on the ground. Wink.
Is that a big... What is that?
It is Bigfoot shaped with some toes up at the front.
Yeah, it is.
Can you see how far back the hills go?
Yep.
Here, do you want to measure that and point that out to the viewers, Jenny?
Yeah. Brody just found this. Alrighty. I bet this is the, what was it, the 18-incher?
This is pretty close to the first
Yep.
track. You measure off to the side instead of right in the middle.
Yeah.
How long was it?
18.
It is the 18.
Look at the little one here next to it.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
it's 8 inches
8
wide.
inches across.
It's just about 8.
And then you
yeah.
can see the toes where they've dug in right here.
I got something over here that you'll like too.
Wow,
It's the baby.
that's a good one.
Look at the...
So we're finding the younger one hand in hand.
Up here. Look at the baby with the toes. Right there, see the toes digging in? And the toes digging in? See,
Oh.
look at this. Perfect.
And it
Perfect.
step there,
Look at the toes.
step there. That's the smaller one.
Yeah,
Walking next to the
to the big ones.
adult.
It should be 11 inches.
if it's the same one that we found earlier.
$11 by $5.
And they were going uphill that way.
And we found them on that mountain side over there earlier this morning. Over there.
Jenny found the little one's footprint next to the 18-incher. There's the toes up at the top of the frame of the one that's 18 inches long. And then right next to Jenny, she found the smaller one that has an 11-inch long footprint. Will you point out the toes? Toes right up at the top, 18 inches long. The hill
Comes right here.
All right, good find. And we have found several of these footprints. It's just not one footprint, you know. We have found a trackway.
All around. It's like it circles around the top of this mountain.
Yeah, and we're finding that most of the footprints have been up near the top. Near the trackway of footprints, Brody finds a structure. Check out this little structure. And mind you, we just found a trackway of 18-inch long, 8-inch wide footprints going hand in hand with another one that left 11-inch long footprints. Near the trackway of footprints that we just showed and measured for you guys, Brody found this stump. And there's rocks stacked under it, on it. Okay. No big deal. Then you also have this.
Okay, wait there.
You know, I don't think those accidentally ended up like that. Just like those rocks didn't accidentally end up like that. And this was no accident. I'm not saying people didn't do this, but we just found a trackway of Bigfoot shaped tracks just within like 50 feet of here. And this is a Bigfoot sighting hotspot. There is 7 Bigfoot sightings along here. Look, near this little structure, whatever that is. Anybody knows what that means? Maybe it means something to people, maybe it don't. And then these rocks. I hope you enjoyed an expedition into this Bigfoot sighting hotspot. We're near Bailey, Colorado. There's several Bigfoot sightings in and around this area. We went into one of the areas that has about 7 sightings. We found footprints, we found structures, and a lot of other odd things. I hope you enjoyed. We're gonna keep looking at different Bigfoot sighting locations in this part of Colorado. So make sure you tune into the rest of our videos. Keep on watching. We're gonna keep on squatching.